Hey everybody, welcome back. Jesse here for 3Prong Gaming. And in the last episode, we set up our custom date and time feature. If you didn't see that, go ahead and check that out. It should be playing up there in the top left-hand corner. Just click on that. It'll open up a new window so you can get caught up. Alright, in this episode, we are going to get started on our user interface. Nothing too fancy. I think we're just going to design it today. No functionality. Yeah, we just need a couple buttons that will display at the bottom of the screen. In my original, I had 3. Right now, we only need 2. Not a big deal. And then we'll put in a little box area for our day and time. And yeah, so let's get started here. Go ahead and select RTS tutorial. Right click. There it is. New folder. Let's go ahead and call this one HUDs. Open up our HUDs folder. Right click. Go to your user interface and select widget blueprint. Let's name this one, I don't know, let's just call it main UI underscore HUD. Sure, sounds good. Control S, let's save it. Go ahead and open that up. Now, I'm not too great with HUDs here, or with the widgets. But they're relatively simple. If you've ever done any HTML web page layout, you'll kind of get the concept here. There's a lot of nesting and boxes and things like that. All right, first things first, let's go ahead and get a horizontal box. Yeah, go ahead and drop that into your canvas. Zoom in here, a little easier to grab if you zoom in. And drag this down to approximately center of your screen. That'll work. We'll make it a little bit bigger because we're going to add some buttons to this. Now change the anchor. If you don't know what an anchor is, what this means is we're going to change it to the bottom center here. What that means is whenever your game window size changes, this is where this box will be anchored to. So if we make it bigger, it's always going to be centered at the bottom of the screen. So if we left the anchor up there and you made the screen bigger, then this would draw up closer to that anchor. Right here, it'll stay nice and centered and it'll give you what you need. So we need a couple buttons. Go ahead and up here under common, get a button. You can drag it in there. The other way to do it is take it and you can drag it and put it on this horizontal box just like so. Let's go ahead and put a spacer in here as well. Should be, there it is. Put it right in between the two buttons. And let's give this spacer a space of 10. Okay. Button, we will do fill. Select this other one and we'll do fill as well. Now we need a couple text boxes all the way back up here at top. Take it, put one there, take the other one, and put it on top of there. Select the first one. Let's go ahead and make the text say, we'll just put apartments. Apartment. We'll just leave it at apartment. Take this next one and we will have it say, I don't know, it's really irrelevant, so just whatever. We'll do Rust you rant. There we go. Go ahead and let's see how that looks. We could probably make it a little bit bigger. And then we'll change the text size. Yeah. I guess maybe we'll just leave it like that. Let's see if we can move this. I hate moving these things around. They're not very easy to move. So we'll just use this over here and we'll just kind of center it up. There we go. That is pretty much it. Let's go ahead and rename some of this here. Button, we'll just call this button button apartment, even though really we shouldn't. I wish we could do like, let's see if we could do button 1. Yeah, we'll do button 1. And we'll call this one button 2. There we go. Because if you name it apartment, you may not want this first button to be apartment. So that'd be kind of silly to change it like that. And then this first one we will call The horizontal box, we'll call it, I don't know, let's call it main button box underscore box. Okay. And that is, yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's go ahead and collapse that now. Now here's a grid panel. We're going to go ahead and take this, drop this on the canvas panel, scroll back here. Let's grab this and we'll put this, this will be for our date and time. Let's make this bigger. We'll shrink it up as we need to. This is where you really get into the nesting. What I was talking about just a little bit ago. The way the layouts in this, it's a little tough to get used to, but I think we can get it to do what we need. So we need a horizontal box. Go ahead and drag and drop that into here. A lot of this is, excuse me, is like a table. These arrows are rows and columns, and yeah, so we'll leave it at that. Let's see, open up this. Sorry, looking at my other screen, my little cheat sheet over here. All right, let's go ahead and call this one, this horizontal box, we'll call this date underscore box. And then we will set its horizontal alignment to center, and we'll do it to top alignment to vertically top. Let's go ahead and add in, let's see, some text blocks here into that horizontal box. Text, there it is. Go ahead and drag and drop it in there. This one we will call, let's just, where is it? Select it. I think when you drop stuff in, it should automatically select it. That would be very intuitive. Let's just do September because it's, you give us a decent idea for layout because it's one of the wider spelt months. And then drag another text box in here on top of the date box. And for this one, we will give it a day. Let's just say 30. And then one more text box on the date box. And this one, we will put 2015. Sure, why not? Okay, so now let's go ahead and change these here to center, 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 and center, center. Now we need to change the size of these fonts. Let's go ahead and knock this down. Oh, let's say, what, 13, 14. Yeah, we'll just type in 13. Do the same thing for the rest of them. 13. And 13. Okay. Now we need to add a couple spacers in here. Give it some padding in there. Drop it right in between the September and the 30th. Take another one, drag it between the 30th and the 2015. Let's give it a space size of, I don't know, I'm thinking probably 5. I guess it's, I only did a 1 in my original one, so we'll keep it at 1. Space it however you would like, whatever looks good to you. So one nice thing about this designer is it's, how do they say it? WYSIWYG, right? What you see is what you get. Let's go ahead and add one more text block though. I want to, where do we want to put it? We want to put it after the 30th, just to make things look a little neater. Let's go ahead and we'll throw in another spacer in between those as well. Spacer in between the 30th and that new text block. New text block, again, font size of 13. And for what it will say, it will just be a simple comma. There we go. And this text block, or the spacer after that, let's go ahead and make that a little bit bigger, I think. I think we're going to go ahead and make it a, let's see how 2 looks. Yeah, maybe we can go a little bit bigger. Let's try 4, see how that looks. And it might be a little too wide, but We'll leave it at that. All right, so now we need another horizontal. Probably get away. I used a horizontal box, but probably a vertical box would work, but I haven't played with that one. Vertical box was a layout plan to be laid out vertically. That's probably what we really need for both of these. But yeah, I used a horizontal box, so maybe that's why I had so much difficulty with it when I was originally trying to design this. But I'm going to use horizontal box because that's what I did. So go ahead and drag and drop that into there. We will call this one time_box. And let's see. We will put it at, where's it at? Time box. We will put it at row 2. So that way it's below the date there. All right. And then for this, we're going to need, you guessed it, we're going to need some more text. Drag and drop it. That will be hour, minutes, seconds, and actually we're going to need, and actually that last one's not seconds, but we'll need one more in here. Drag and drop it. I'll show you here just as a hour and minute separator. This first one, let's go ahead and we'll just throw in the number 12. This next one, let's just make this one the separator. Put in a colon. Third one, we'll just do, we'll just do 0, 0. And then this last one, we'll put AM. Need some spacers. Just drop them in between each one of these. Where'd the spacer go? Just to give it some padding here. And then there we go, in between that one. Now this text AM, what we actually want to change the font size of this one, we will change it down to 16. And we will change its alignment to center, center. How's that look? Looking okay so far. Let's see, we need to change some of these settings as well. Let's go ahead and call this one, actually, let's name this hour. And there it is. We'll call this one minute. This one we'll call AM, PM. All right. Let's go ahead and again change these. You don't see too much noticeable difference in them right at this point, but you can and usually do see a difference in it when it, because these numbers will change in game once we hook up all the functionality to it. And so we need to try to keep it as spaced as and organized as possible. All right. Let's see. This one we need to go center, center, and I think that's about it. Actually, let's go ahead and make this horizontal box a little bit bigger if we can. No, I don't think we can. Let's add a spacer at the, I'm afraid that this is going to clip. Nah, it's not going to clip. It should extend out. If it clips, we'll add a spacer. I don't have a spacer in on my cheat sheet over there, so we'll leave it at that. And I think that's going to be about it for the looks of that. We'll leave a little bit of room here, though, because if this extends outside the grid box, it will clip it, and we don't want that. So we want everything to have a decent amount of room to grow. All right, place it where we want it. Let's go ahead and we want it probably a little bit further down, maybe a little more in. Yeah, something like that's probably okay. And you can make it bigger if you want in the game. That's probably not where it's going to eventually stay in our final design. And let's go ahead. I think we've got enough time. We're approaching 15 minutes here. Let's throw in the buttons, even though this will be a little while before we add the functionality of this. We will add, oh, we need to change the anchor point of this. Aha, down to the bottom left-hand corner. There we go. Now let's grab a horizontal box, drop it on the canvas, And let's go ahead and call this one game speed box. There we go. Grab it. We'll just set it right around on top of there. What we're going to need for this is a couple buttons. That way you can turn it up and down. We will need a text in between those two buttons. And on this text block, let's just go ahead and, where is it? Text. Let's just make the number 3. That's will be our default speed. Let's see, we will change the size of this down some. Let's do fill. Change its alignment to center, center. These buttons we will also do fill on both of these buttons. Its alignment is fine. Let's go ahead and lower the size of this font some more. There we go. Now let's grab 2 text box, put them on top of the button. Put this one on top of that button. Let's go ahead and turn this into a minus sign. And then this one, yeah, you probably guessed it, a plus sign. Now these look kind of funny, so all we need to do though is change the text size, and it should center them up nice for us. All right, I do believe that is it. Let me see, and let me double check my cheaters here. What do we have that for? 8. Let's go ahead and I've got spacers around this one. Let's go ahead and put a couple spacers in here. I must have had some issues with it moving around. So grab a spacer, put it there above the number 3, and then one right below the number 3. And let's change its padding to 8 on both of them. 8. Probably don't need to do that much. Let's go ahead and knock that down. Let's do 5 and 5. Take this box. Let's go ahead and expand this open a little bit. Make sure that, yeah, no. I'm just looking and playing. Can't move it. Let's go ahead and shift this. Let's just kind of put this close to center. There we go. That should be good enough. All right, we're at about 18 minutes. I think we got a little bit more time. Let's go ahead and implement this. Compile, save it. Come out here. Let's jump into our pawn controller. Open this up. And now we need reference to this. So we will eventually make another macro here. Let's go ahead and make our macro anyways. Let's go ahead and call our new macro create HUDs. This is where we'll obviously create all our HUDs. Let's go ahead and drag these out. All right, now let's go ahead and create, what do we call that? Create main, create widget, there it is. And then from in here, select our main UI HUD. And one other thing, let's see. We're going to need to pass a reference of our player controller to there. Let's go back to our main UI and go into the graph. And let's create a variable. And we will call this commander. Let's go ahead and change this variable type to our player controller. And what is it? Camera pawn controller. There it is, compile. Let's go ahead actually, and we need to expose this on spawn. Compile. Oh, it needs to be editable. Compile, save it. All right, there we go. Now it's in here. Commander, so let's go ahead and get us reference to self. There it is. Drag that into the commander. And I think we're going to need another reference in here to the game state, but let's just go ahead and leave that for now. Game state's relatively easy to get. I don't know why I put that on my other one. Let's go ahead and move this. Now we need to, let's just drag off here, go promote to variable. Let's call this variable main HUD underscore ref. We want to underscore it. Hit that. Let's make its category here. Where is it? References. Cool, and that should work for now. We'll tie into all these later as we get more. Drag the execution pin out there, execution pin out there. And I do believe that is it. We create it. We haven't added it to the viewport yet, so we can't see it. Drag this in a little tighter. Compile it. Save it. Let's jump back out here. Grab our create HUDs. And let's see where we at. We need to right click. Let's go set input game and UI. Drag then one into there. Hook up the execution pin to your create HUDs. And let's go ahead and click lock mouse to viewport and unclick hide cursor during capture. Compile it, save it. Let's see, it should be it. We need to get another reference to self, and we need to plug that into the target, because if you notice here, it doesn't automatically default to target like a lot of the other ones do, so it needs a target. So the target is self, the player controller, or the camera pawn controller in our case. All right, so now let's go ahead and add this to the viewport. Let's go add view, add, where is it? Oh, all right. That's why we can't see it. We could find it if we turned off context sensitive, but we'll just get our main HUD reference and then go add to viewport. Hook up the execution pin. There you go. And that should be enough for us to see. Crush fingers. There it is. Obviously, we still got this scrolling over here. We got our buttons. Let's go ahead and, yeah, I'll deal with that for now. Could probably take this and move this down a little bit more. I don't know if I necessarily like it up that high, so I'll probably do that. I'm running out of time. I don't want to spend too much time in here doing this. Let's go ahead and, I can't grab all those. Where is it? Let's grab this grid box and change its position a little bit. Yeah, so it's a little more in line with the buttons, I guess. And then that one, we'll do the same thing. Kind of try to center it up. Ooh, ooh. There we go. That'll work. That looks close enough. Compile, save it, play it. Yeah, it looks a little bit better. Buttons there. These don't do anything yet. But yeah, the locked mouse, let's push play again. See, our mouse is now locked to the screen, but for some reason, I don't know why. I don't know if it's a bug or if it'd be different once we package the game. Once you click in the viewport, you can actually get out of the viewport. I don't know if that's an editor thing or what, but it's kind of tends to drive me nuts. But yeah, so that is that. We do need a couple other things for this. We need an interface. We need to create some enums, but we're running up on 25 minutes right here. So let's go ahead and end this. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please do me a favor, go down and hit that like button. It helps me out a ton. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe while you're down there liking it. You can follow me on Twitter and Facebook. Should be there on the screen right there. And until the next video, peace.